Hi guys, it's ASBYT and this might just be the soon to launch iPhone 13. What do you think? Do you like the look of it or not? Let me know below. So it gets to around this sort of time every year, a few months before the launch of the brand new iPhone series, when the rumour mill and buzz really goes into overdrive as the leaks and rumours come pouring in. So today I thought I'd go through all of the latest information, everything we know currently prior to release. But remember to take each of these with a pinch of salt because, like with everything, until the device is officially in our hands, we are mere speculators. I'm going to try and do this as quickly and snappy as possible, don't want to waste your time, and thanks to Clean My Mac X for sponsoring today's video. Keep watching until later in the video where you can hear how, if you have a Mac, you can keep it working just like new. So firstly, Apple will again introduce 4 iPhones this year, with the same display sizes as last year, so a 5.4-inch iPhone 13 mini, 6.1-inch iPhone 13, another 6.1-inch but 13 Pro, and a 6.7-inch Pro Max version. There aren't expected to be any substantial design changes from last year's variant, apart from one possibly major thing. More on that shortly. The fact that Apple updated the core look last time around would suggest they will stick with this for at least 1 or 2 more years to follow their past physical design upgrade cycles. One fairly big rumour that circulated recently was there will be the reintroduction of Touch ID under that display to accompany Face ID this time around, largely due to the issues people were having with unlocking their phones during the pandemic with face masks, etc. Despite Apple including a workaround with the Apple Watch and iPhone 14.5. iPhone 14.5? iOS 14.5, get it right. This rumour does appear to have been doused though by Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, stating that an under-the-display Touch ID will now not arrive until the iPhone line in 2022. The iPhone 13 is also expected to feature a smaller notch, still a notch, but a smaller one, around a 30% decrease in size after alleged front glass panels were revealed showing the speaker has now been implemented higher into the top bezel, allowing more room for the rest of the notch components. Leaked iPhone 13 CAD files or computer-aided design files also back up that sentiment. So that screen-to-body ratio should now be higher on all new models. And the CAD files also appear to show a thicker set of new iPhones, possibly to accommodate larger batteries, rumoured to be 2,406 mAh on the iPhone 13 mini, 3,095 mAh on the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro, and 4,325 mAh for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yes, that is less than some of the latest flagship Android smartphones, but different chipsets, different operating systems, you can never really tell the difference in terms of performance. Not yet, darling. The joys of running a YouTube channel when you have kids. Yeah! Where was I? Yeah, Android flagship phones have generally higher capacity sizes, but the chipsets, the operating systems, until I have the new iPhones in hand and can compare them to Android flagships, then we will never know. Sub for that. The 5nm A15 chipset manufactured by TSMC is expected to debut this year. There is always speed improvements with new chip additions, but also this time around there's apparently going to be a 20% better power efficiency, something that will be really welcomed if the believed 120Hz ProMotion OLED displays finally happen alongside LTPO technology, allowing the refresh rate to drop from 120 down to just 1 if need be, if you're doing something that doesn't need that high refresh rate, like scrolling through photos, for example. If you're stationary on a photo, it can drop. And speaking of photos, let's talk camera. If we flip to the back, cameras will again be a focus for Apple this year, with larger rear camera lenses and potentially larger camera bump to go with it. Dummy models that have surfaced would support this, same location of course at the top left hand side. Now Apple have consistently over the last few years stayed with the tried and tested 12 megapixel sensors, while other competitors have experimented with higher megapixel counts, the likes of 108 megapixels from Samsung for example. Traditionally, larger sensors can allow for more light intake and better image details, especially in low light and for those that want to crop images. It can improve clarity of detail. Now we currently don't have the megapixel counts of the new iPhone camera lenses, but we do have strong rumours of lowered aperture on some of the lenses, down to just f1.8 from the f2.4 we saw on the last year's variants. On top of this, Apple are believed to be implementing an improved sensor shift stabilization feature for better autofocus and upgraded image stabilization, apparently playing around with a new portrait video mode as well. So where you get your lovely portrait photos, they're now going to implement that blur background into video mode as well. The standard iPhone 13 and 13 mini models will apparently have dual lens camera setups, a wide and an ultra wide configuration, with the Pro and Pro Max again having 3 lenses with an additional telephoto lens and LiDAR scanner. Now, Apple, from all accounts, will not be transferring from Lightning to Type-C in terms of charging, which has been highly requested. I think personally right now it's gone far enough down the line that we'll probably see a portless iPhone before we actually see a Type-C one. So I think that idea might just have gone by the wayside. Apple are also expected to use Qualcomm's Snapdragon X60 5G modem this time around, but we understand they are working currently on their own modem chips, like their A-series ones, so in the future they don't have to rely on other companies for this, again reducing production costs. Ming Chi Kuo suggests around 2023, but again, highly speculative. In terms of launch, we are due to revert back to a typical September launch outside of the pandemic year of 2020 when it got pushed back, and the suggested special launch colours that come speeding your way include bronze, matte black and a pink edition, although again, a huge pinch of salt will be needed for these. This could change in a day. And speaking of speed, that brings me nicely onto today's video sponsor, Clean My Mac X. Now, as you may or may not know, I use a MacBook Pro for the majority of my workflow, including, of course, editing these videos. As a result, I want to try and keep my machine working to the best of its abilities, as if it's running slow, then so does my workflow. Not great when you have deadlines, and this is where Clean My Mac X comes in really handy. It helps rid your machine of all the unnecessary clutter and junk that builds up in your Mac over time, which can seriously hamper optimum performance. Clean My Mac X can help bring your machine back to its early performance, and in turn, could extend its life cycle. Many people believe that after a year or so their computer slows down simply due to its age, and go out and purchase a new one, without realising that might not actually be necessary. It might just need a little TLC. Clean My Mac X cleans junk in all corners of Mac OS, cleaning unneeded files like broken downloads, logs and localizations. It removes gigabytes of hidden clutter lurking in mail, music, photos, etc. The software can also scan your system for potential malware threats, quickly taking action if needs be. Also, to make your online experience more private, Clean My Mac X can delete outdated Wi-Fi connections, browsing history, cookies, downloads, chat histories, and other online traces. Before you rush out and buy a new Mac, give Clean My Mac X a go and give your machine the spring clean it deserves to make it as good as new. I will leave a download link for Clean My Mac X in the video description below, so go and check it out if you so wish. Let me know what you think of the rumoured iPhone 13 line. Do you think the updates warrant a new purchase, or do you think maybe they should be called the iPhone 12s, like an incremental upgrade compared to last year's models? Or is that naming scheme now gone? I think so, maybe. Let me know in the comments. Like if you enjoyed it, sub if you're new and want to see more. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Do just what you want.